Davidson experience was great, enlightening, but also prepared me for life, and I didn't know it prepared me for kind of what I'm doing today. So our class at Davidson was like the first large class of African American students that were mainly like public school students that they had at Davidson, and so I don't know how ready we were for Davidson and how ready Davidson was ready for us at the same time. But that's kind of what I enjoyed about my Davidson journey. When I look back at it, is what helped me grow. A lot of aspects of my app came from my experiences at Davidson, and so I always talk about the times we went off campus and coming back on campus, having actual local Davidson police pull us over. If we went off campus 10 times, probably 4 or 5 times coming back, we were going to get pulled over and stopped and searched or anything like that. And so when I think about what made them stop pulling us over, it was using that Davidson ingenuity back then. And back then we went to the library and printed out a ton of laws for the state of North Carolina, highlighted the county. And the next few times we were like, sure, here it says, if you want to search us, you need a warrant and you need a sheriff. We can wait. We normally wait anyway. And so we have, so that's one of the things where I decided, okay, when I built the app and it was something like that, I wanted people to have some sense of laws and things like that in there. So when I left Davidson, I had no idea what I really wanted to do at that point in time. I went into Davidson thinking I was going to go to law school. I was on mock trial for 3 years, traveling across doing mock trial things. Senior year, we had a documentary made for an anthropology class on rappers in Charlotte. So I thought I was going to go to film school after that. And so I was just, pretty lost when I think about it. So my first job outside of Davidson ended up going up to Baltimore. And so to work for there was a lady there whose daughter went to Davidson, and she liked hiring Davidson people because she was like, y'all could write well. Mm-hmm. And so I had a job working at Morgan State and at Johns Hopkins doing research on health disparities. Now, I absolutely despised it because if you know me, that job consisted of 90% of me behind a computer, researching, typing, and not talking to people, not interacting with people. And so I did not enjoy that at all. So I left that job after a year, went home to Macon for a few months, and then I moved back to Charlotte and actually lived in the town of Davidson for a little bit. And then I couldn't even really find a job for the longest time. I was baffled. I moved to Charlotte because I was like, I got a Davidson degree. That Davidson degree should help me find a job. Couldn't find anything. So then I took a job doing door-to-door sales. And it was cold calling. It wasn't like we were appointed, and we weren't selling big things. We were selling coupons for Braves and the Charlotte Bobcats and at the time. And we were selling coupons for spas, and it was all commission based. And so I got into that because when I saw, I was pitched on getting, building your own business. So I already knew when I was doing that, okay, I kind of have an entrepreneurial spirit. Why in the world am I doing door-to-door sales and taking people out for interviews and building a team and explaining to them? But I was also able to build a team a lot easier than most because I could build a story, build a narrative. And so when people would have me, it was funny, my bosses would challenge me sometimes. They were like, you see that girl with high heels over there? We're going to send you out with her. We're going to see how long you last. And then by the end of the day, she's laughing. I was like, yeah, I want to do this. And I'm like, they were like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, you guys outsmart me. First thing we did, I told her exactly what we're about to do. We stopped at Walmart, bought some flip-flops or bought some cheap shoes, and we got to working. And so, and that job kind of is part of what also led me with Legal Equalizer and stuff like that, because during those 5 years I did that job in North and South Carolina. And I was driving around to the smallest counties, most remote places. So when I tell people literally I had been pulled or stopped over on the low end 80 times, but if you want to be accurate, probably 110 to 120 times, that's not exaggerating at all. That's literally, I've been in towns in South Carolina trying to sell Braves tickets where the cops escorted me out the town. We're you come back here, you're getting arrested tomorrow. And so I understood all of that. So when I left that job, moved back to Atlanta, and then just kept on getting into sales. I ended up, doing sales for Apple for a little bit. I was a business sales where I would call local corporations and try to convince them to switch their whole operation from using PCs to go into Macs and iPads and iPhones and connect and all of that stuff. So I used all of that sales stuff, and I was actually even in sales up until I decided to quit and focus fully on Legal Equalizer.